straight from a taping of The Tonight Show.
Yeah.
Jimmy Fallon, you're here with us.
Come on,
Thank you
nice
so
to see you.
much. Nice to see you.
Thanks for doing this.
Absolutely. So, as I mentioned, you're coming straight from a taping. You've been doing The Tonight Show for 11 years now, 4 or 5 more on the late night side. What's different about doing the show now versus 10 or 15 years ago?
Oh my gosh. So many things have changed. I sweat less. I was really sweaty the first season. We didn't have the air conditioning figured out the first, because we planned on the lighting and stuff, but we didn't plan on all the people in there. So my first couple of interviews, I was just like dripping flop sweat, just like, oh my gosh. So that has changed, but the whole landscape has changed. I mean, with social media and everything now, it's just completely different, but it's exciting. It's just always changing every year.
Yeah. I'm sure most people are familiar with you first from Saturday Night Live or Almost Famous, a personal favorite of mine.
Thank you.
As the story goes, Lorne Michael said, the day you left, he thought you'd be good at doing this talk show thing. It took you 5 years to then step into a role like that. When did you know that you could be good at something like this?
I mean, it takes a while to get your brand and your footing and know who you are, So I think just the more you practice, it probably wasn't until like probably year 3 or year 4 where you start figuring things out and you go, oh yeah, I'm comfortable with this, or I can have a conversation with someone without, worrying about how much time do we have, or we don't have enough time. Like I remember when we first started, I would just talk so fast. I'd be like, where are you from? What's the movie about? And cool, let's show a clip. And the whole thing would be 30 seconds. You go, dude, you got to slow down, man. So now I'm just comfortable and I can talk for an hour if we have to.
Yeah, I saw an interview that you did in 2009 when you launched the late night show. And it was obviously a very crowded late night landscape at that point. But there was a quote that you had that said, Jimmy Kimmel has his own thing. Craig Ferguson has his own thing. Everyone has their own thing. Eventually, I'll have my own thing. I guess now, like, what is your thing that differentiates you from the other shows?
I mean, I think, our show's more sketch-based, musical, more poppy. We're very positive on our show. I think that's really kind of what's on brand for me, family friendly. That's kind of, but just enough edge to know that it still have a little edge to it. You don't want the flag touching the ground, but
right,
you can get close.
Yeah, it seems like some late night hosts kind of got their humor from being a little like grumpy, crotchety. With you, it's like joy, upbeat with all your guests. You're calling them pal, right? And
yeah, I mean that's been the way it's always been since late night days. Yeah,
I think that the thing that people always say is like, there's no way he is really that enthusiastic with everyone that comes on, with every topic. Is that strategic at all for the interview, or is that just natural, like who you are?
I like it. I like things. I like pop culture. I like, I like that shopping cart. I like that purple. I also know how much work goes into everything. I've done a few movies, and you spend months filming these movies, and then they spend months editing the movies. Then you do press for 2 months, and it comes out, and they go, it sucks. And you, wait, what? No, there was so much work. So many people worked so hard on this. So I just know from that side how much work goes into all that stuff, or making an album, or any of that stuff. It's a lot of work. So I just want to let everyone kind of shine and everyone kind of decide if they like it or not.
How do you maintain that level of enthusiasm? I mean, you do the show 4 nights a week. How do you maintain that?
It's different. Every show's completely, if you have ADD, it's perfect for you because it's a different musical guest, or it's a stand-up comedian, or, you're talking about a serious subject, or a movie coming out, or the #1 show on Netflix. And it's like every night is completely different. And, sometimes you're meeting new people, but sometimes you're meeting old friends that have been on the show for, going back 15, 16 years. It's kind of fun to watch everyone rise and, who they're dating and who they dated and who they're married. And now they have kids. And it's like, oh yeah, I know you. So we can talk about things, for the movies. I've had guests on where they're like, I hope you didn't see this movie. It's bad. It's so bad. I go, it's good. I usually I have seen the movie and I just like, we don't have to get into details. There's always something good about every project.
Yeah, it seems like, your show has always done really well with a younger demographic, and I feel like at least part of that is your embrace of the internet, whether it's doing the trends and the dances on the show or having creators on as guests. Yeah. I guess in 2025, how does the internet shape how you do your TV show?
I mean, I think we're always looking for new things and next. That's the thing that keeps the show current. I think I learned that from Saturday Night Live. If they stayed with the same sketches and the same cast, it wouldn't be around today. So you have to change things up, and you have to think of a new bit or try something new and try something that flops and doesn't work, and try stuff that have no idea if it's going to work or not. I think there's some type of spontaneity that you need to have that spark of the show and keep it exciting.
How much time are you spending online? Like, are you, keeping up with those trends and those kind of things?
I mean, that's where I, get my news. I mean, I check out a bunch of sites and all that stuff. And, if you're on TikTok or Instagram and just seeing what people are talking about, I think it's just all around me. It's at my desk at work, but it's on your phone. It's everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you have to. I'm not on it too much to the point where I'm like I need a break from it, but I'm on there just enough.
Has what you find funny changed over the course of you doing the show?
I mean, yeah, totally. There's so much new talent out there and new people doing things in different ways of attacking a sketch. Now people do things that are funny in 15 seconds, and there's the most popular thing in the world. And they go, "Did you see that?" And they go, "Yeah, that's so interesting. You got that laugh in 15 seconds that back in the day would probably be a 5-minute sketch where I was hoping that someone laughed." Yeah. I think it's cool for writers and also comedians to have their stuff live on the internet because, I think of Johnny Carson and, when they threw the tomahawk and that landed on that thing, it was the funniest thing ever, but there was no internet. So you either had to see it or you didn't see it. It's interesting. You had to kind of be there. Now you could miss it and still see it. Mm-hmm. You go, oh, you got to watch it now. Mm-hmm. But back in the day, you'd have to choose what show you watch, and I'm gonna watch Mary Tyler Moore, and well, I'm gonna watch some other show. You have to be that person. Now you can watch everything. Yeah. And kind of people expect you to see everything.
Mm-hmm. It seems like one of the things that your show is best known for are for the segments that it's birthed, like a lip sync battle or a box of lies or, wheel of musical impressions. I guess how important have branding those segments been to the success of your show?
We never thought about it as like, oh, this will do well online, but we just happened to break the show into like 6-minute chunks or 7-minute chunks. It's always been like that. And that works better online than, but it pays off to have it branded and have it be called something like lip sync battle or something like that. But sometimes you have to do it 3 or 4 times. We're like, oh, we should probably call this something because we've been doing it now 4 times, if it's thank you notes or hashtags, wherever it is. When they first start out, they're just bits. Mm-hmm. And then after probably 5 or 6 times, then you should put a name on it and go, we should call it something because we keep doing it.
Sure. Yeah. One of the things that occurs to me is how over that past decade, the internet has been now filled with these sort of non-traditional celebrity segments, whether it's like a Hot Ones, Chicken Shop Date, or a lie detector. Like, I feel like the Jimmy Fallon bits are now what YouTube is in some ways. How have those being online changed how you think about creating them on the show?
You got to keep moving, I mean, when we first started, I remember we were kind of doing, sorry, it's my assistant with my dirt bike. He takes it out all the time. I let him do it just for fun. You got to keep him happy, He loves it. He's almost 32 now, so he gets excited about those things.
He'll get a talking to.
Yeah, he will. I think, I think when we first started the show, we were doing like game shows and kind of spoofing game shows, and then maybe we had a guest on and said, hey, I want to do one of those game shows. And I go, it's just kind of a joke that we're doing, they're not real game shows. But then, well, it could be fun to just play a game. We're like, okay, I would be interested to see how, Meryl Streep plays Pictionary. Does she get mad or does she cheat? I don't know what's going on. It's weird, but let's try it. And then you just started doing that, and then we're like, oh, we're the show, there people play games. And then we're like, oh, let's not do that anymore. It's like, now, do you want to sing something? Okay. And then we have people singing or doing impressions, and it's like, you don't have to. We don't force anyone to do anything. People just kind of come to us and go, I got this idea, do you want to do this? Or we pitch and you can always say no and just do a straight interview. It's up to you, really.
Yeah.
It has changed because now it's more the norm where people are just doing things and odd interviews and stuff like that. So it's like, now we got to think of another thing because this show's doing exactly what we did. They're calling it something different, but it's exactly what we did. We're like, let's just change. It's easier that way.
Well, speaking of branding outside of your day job, I think you've collaborated on so many things. I have a short list here: children's books, pocket squares, pajamas, shoes, Ben and Jerry's ice cream,
Yeah.
a roller coaster, a Christmas album. All those are sort of branding exercises in their own way.
Yeah,
I guess
everyone should have their own roller coaster.
I would like a roller coaster.
Not many talk shows have the roller
Yeah.
coaster, yeah.
Yeah. When did you start thinking of yourself, I guess, as a personal brand that could be exported to other things?
I don't know. I'm trying to think of when, I just think, I remember when we first got late night, it was NBC Universal. And that was not the case when I was on NBC, when I did Saturday Night Live. So I was like, Universal, we should have our own ride. So I remember I go, can I have a meeting with the ride people? And they were like, no, like, who are you? But we'll try to set it up. And they set me up with a meeting. It was a teleconference meeting, pre-Zoom. And I was just on. I met with these guys that were great, and I pitched this idea for a ride. I go, it's like Soarin', at Disney, but it's like more nighttime and funnier and darker and faster. And they go, that's great. And I go, so you like it? And they go, yeah, we're not going to do it, but good luck with your show.
Yeah.
And I hope all the best. We're going to miss Conan. I think so. And so then the show started doing well, and then I got the Tonight Show, and then I got a call from the ride people. And they were like, yeah, do you remember pitching? I was like so nervous. I'm like, yeah, I totally remember. And they're like, oh, we want to do it now. So I go, love it. I just think try something new and seeing how much you can do and how big you can make the show. I mean, I think the internet helps with that too, but also we have so much opportunity. You go, yeah, this is great. If it just got a weird invention or something, I had an idea for these sweatshirts. I originally called them Pits. Was the name of it, because when your team wins or scores,
Okay.
what do? You go,
Uh-huh.
I mean, this is great real estate. Why are we not doing something with this? So this should be like New York Yankees or something, and call them Pits, and no one liked the name, and no one really even liked the product that much, but we made it. They called it Hands High, and actually made my own sweatshirt.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and we sold it for a couple years, 3 years. It was okay.
Okay.
I think it just kind of, you got to be really behind it and change it and go with it. But I thought it could be like people go to concerts, you can have Charlie XCX. I mean, whatever, you can do whatever you want. But because when something's exciting or winning, your hands are always up. And I think that's a good photo of, if Yankees win and you just see some Hands High sweatshirts in there or whatever. But I think Pitts is a better name.
Yeah.
But you come up with that and you go, if I can make that happen, I can make, I just think of anything.
Right.
I was online once at Starbucks just spinning my sunglasses, and I go, what if they had like ball bearings or something in the arm so that you can get a good
Like
whip?
a fidget spinner.
Yes, so you can get a good whip to the sunglasses.
Okay.
Like, and so I came up with spinnies and talked to Warby Parker because I listened to them on a podcast, How I Built This maybe, and I like their vibe. And I go, would you want to do this? We'll give the money to charity, And so we invented spinnies, and we sold out in like 5 minutes or something. It was like crazy inventions. My wife still wears it.
Are these like other ways to use your creativity? I mean, they seem so disparate, right? Like sunglasses, pajamas.
Yeah. It just, whatever you think, if you have an idea, I write it down and I go, is there anything? I remember one of my first meetings with my lawyer, I go, we're talking about the show, and he's like, well, we'll talk about negotiation. I go, yeah. I go, I got this idea for an app. It's an oyster, and then you just put different things on it, like mignonette sauce or cocktail sauce, and then you and you slurp it up, and it's 99 cents. And he goes, no, we're not making the oyster app. Just focus on the show. They go, yeah, I know, but the oyster would be such a fun app. Just to slurp an oyster out of it. iPhone would be kind of funny.
Coming soon, 2026.
I don't know if oyster's ever going to make it. I don't think we'll ever see oyster.
Well, I think that brings us to your new show on brand, about branding.
So excited about the show.
Yeah.
It turned out fantastic. I had this idea for a show, and I wrote it out on my iPad, and I was like, it's called, I think Branded was what I called it originally. And I said, the idea is like, let's see the people behind the brands, and have them tell us what they want. They go, look, people under the age of 27 don't know who we are. So we need something for women under the age of 27. Like, good, tell us. And then we'll make it. And whoever has the best idea, that wins. And so it started off with that idea. And then it's kind of split into like, there's 10 contestants from all walks of life. There's professors. There's people that not necessarily with a background in advertising. Real estate agent, a swim instructor. But they're all creative, and we had a great vetting process of getting a good cast. Just like we gave them fake brands and say, pitch us the new Ronald McDonald. What would he look like if he wasn't a clown, or whatever? Just pitch us. And so we got the best brains, and it's really funny and different. And I think what's cool about the show is we have these, CMOs and brand managers and presidents that come on. You get to see the people behind the brand, and they're honest, and they're like, here's the deal. We had 8 brands, so I'm assuming Dunkin' Donuts. Like, we have more than donuts. We actually have breakfast meal deals and in the morning. So how do we pitch that? I'm like, great. So we came up with some great pitches. 2 of them win. They go head to head in an actual Dunkin' Donuts. And we let the Dunkin' Donuts fans decide which one works or doesn't work. It's pretty obvious when you see it. It's like, this one's, I don't know if it's going to work as well, but it's exciting. And then the next day, after our show airs, it will be in Dunkin' Donuts. It will be in, it's actually going to happen.
Right.
So the ideas that you're seeing on the show are real life the next day, on billboards, on television, commercials, spots. It's all happening, which I don't think has happened in television. I think it's something new. It's a new type of show, and I think it's a new type of business model too.
So in recent years, obviously, you've added to the Tonight Show, like Password, That's My Jam, now On Brand, more game competition shows or other kinds of shows. How do those, I guess, like exercise your creativity in a way that's the talk shows maybe not doing?
I kind of got into the whole game show of it all. I'm trying to think of what it was. I think probably because all the bits we do on the show is so much of a variety show is what I think the Tonight Show is more than anything. We do talk, but it's variety, which I don't even know if that it really exists anymore, a real variety. But we always did musical things or games or sketches and stuff like that. And so I think maybe That's My Jam was the first thing that came out, which was just a singing competition game for fun. And then Password, we used to have Betty White on the show all the time, and that was, her show. She married the host. And so we used to play with Betty all the time, and it was super fun. And I think during COVID, I was like, this could be something that we could do cheaply on even phones and make the show work just to give people entertainment while we're all freaking out in our house. And it was hard to get off the ground at the time because there's too much. A lot of people get involved. And money gets involved in studios and audience. I go, just make it and it'll work. But we ended up making it, and then it was a hit. And thank God for Keke Palmer. It was just amazing. Won an Emmy for hosting, and she's awesome. We just did another season of that last week. So that was fun. And then I think I'm kind of good in that game show if I have an idea for a show. I also have bad ideas too that I pitch to NBC that they say no to. Like I had one called Priest, where it's about a priest who kills people and then confesses his sins to himself. So he's free from sin, but he's a murderer. And they didn't like that. But again, it's up for grabs.
2026.
Everyone wants to make Priest. It's a great idea it's like a Dexter type of vibe.
Yeah.
So off-brand for me. But, you got to take those swings, man.
Sure.
Yeah, I tried.
So all those shows obviously are on TV. TV, as much talked about in the business, is declining viewership, revenue, those kinds of things. Into that landscape, I guess, how does that change how you think about launching a new show or continuing to do the show you're doing now?
I mean, there's certain things that you don't worry really about the ratings. It's more like I think the Tonight Show has just been around for 70 years. It's just part of your television. That's the way I looked at it when I was a kid. I didn't realize it was a job. I just saw Johnny Carson on this box, and I go, oh, that's where you live, or that's whatever. I didn't think of it as a job. So I think that is just it's just a staple of culture, and I think it'll be around for as long as TV's around. This show, like On Brand, I think is more of a ratings thing, and you kind of want it to rate and do well. It's also airing the next day on Peacock, so again, I don't know how that works either. Like, I don't know if Nielsen ratings, do they?
They have, yeah. In recent years, they've found ways to like integrate airing +3, +7, with digital viewership as well. But it's messy, I would say.
Yeah, they haven't figured, like, Netflix not involved.
No, they don't give any data on
There you go.
stuff other than like hours engaged at every 6 months.
Yeah, so I hope a lot of hours get engaged
Yeah.
with on brand.
Right.
But I think it's a family show. I think it's people can go back to watching. We have a great Tuesday night lead-in. It's The Voice. We're following The Voice, so hopefully people will hang around after The Voice and watch on brands on Tuesdays. And then they're experimenting with going Tuesdays and Fridays, new episodes. So it's not a repeat. So Tuesday's a new episode. Friday at 8 we're launching. So that's the one I'm hoping. That's the experimental thing. I don't know, but I know that Shark Tank worked there, and Shark Tank's not on Fridays anymore. So if you're in that business competition, Friday night deal,
There it is.
we got it for you. But again, I hope, I don't know what it's going to be like. I'll find out, probably a couple weeks in, you'll realize if it's working or not. I think also what might help this show and is seeing the needle move for these brands, and I think that will be exciting. Like, I don't know how to do it right now, but I want every company that we're working with to write down where they're at right now and then see where they are after on brand happens. Because I think their numbers will go up, and that'll prove that the show's working. And I think doing a reality show is different than the other game shows I've done, because I'm the host of this thing and I have an earpiece and I have to look at a certain person and go talk to BT, okay, yep, and talk to Raj, yes, and I'm not the best at that. So I think I'll get better, season 2, and I think, I'll understand more of, because my brain's always kind of thinking like, wait, how's this going to work? And you can't, you just have to be on and be like, okay, everyone, here's what we're doing today. And you go, I don't know if I'm not good at this. I'm like watching Top Chef episodes, like looking at Padma going, oh God, I hope I could do this, man. It's harder than you think.
If you can do it like her, you'll be in good shape.
That's what I'm saying. I shoot for shoot for the moon. Man.
It's interesting what you said about the Tonight Show, because obviously the conversation after the Colbert cancellation was they're getting rid of the Late Show franchise, and so maybe that spells the end of late night TV. I guess, do you think you'll be the last host of the Tonight Show?
Oh gosh, no. There'll be someone else. There's probably someone else watching right now. They're like, I hope that he retires so I can take over. Or I don't think it'll be a robot. I think it has to be a human being that is, makes mistakes and has a real conversation with people. And, that's the kind of fun of it and the liveness of it, with the audience. And you can hear reactions and laughter, and it's like old school. We're putting on a show. I think you get that from Saturday Night Live, which I think, and I think you get that from sporting events. It's the crowd, and you got to be there, and you feel it, and you go, yeah. Or you want to watch a couple things that make you laugh before you fall asleep. I think it'll be around for a long time, and I don't think I'll be the last host. There's a lot of talent out there. I don't know who that is. I don't think.
Break some news. Yeah.
Yeah, I know exactly. There's like a Jerry Fallon backstage. You feeling sick today, Mr. Fallon?
Right.
I think I can maybe try that for you. Yeah.
Do you still get the same charge that you're mentioning from?
I want to do it more. We're down to 4 days a week, just because of budget cuts and the way life works. But I was bummed. I want to do it 5 days a week. I love doing it. I'm excited by it. I go in and go, yes. What do we have? What do we have to do? Let's do this. Let's try something different. This fall we're gonna do shows on Sundays after football, which is great because that's kind of the only show people are watching on television right now.
Right.
So we actually get that audience, and I want to have new eyeballs and have kids go, what is this show? I don't know what a talk show is. Maybe they don't know what it is. And somebody goes, what is a stand-up comedian? Or what is rock music? What's reggae music? There's people that don't know what that is. They're growing up. And so that's the kick I get out of the show, is like I get to influence these new artists, and I have people on the show now that are like, I grew up watching you. Some people say I learned English from you. Can you imagine that? I mumble when I talk. I'm like, you learned how to speak English from me? Whew, good luck, man. But it's it's fun to watch people just grow and rise, and they go like, we had Bad Bunny on the show, and he goes, I had to show you this. This picture of me with your wax figure. And I said, one day I'm going to be on the Tonight Show. and it's Bad Bunny next to a much younger version of me, less waxy, believe it or not, but more personality. And so we recreate that photo every time he comes on, and now he's Bad Bunny, you know. But at the time he was Benito and wanting to have a dream. And I think the Tonight Show is kind of one of the things that you get if you win a gold medal. That's amazing, but you also get to go on the Tonight Show. It's part of like the cool thing of this country, and you go, wow, yes, dude, I did it. Look, you know, a lot of people bring their parents because their parents are like, yes, my kid made it.
Right.
They're on the Tonight Show.
Right.
And I've seen bands that are like the coolest, coolest looking bands, and we're about to start, the guitarist will look back at the drummer like, we're on the Tonight Show, and then go back to being cool. You know, it's like everyone's still got that energy, and they get pumped up, and it's the most exciting thing. I'm really lucky, and I love my team, and I'm lucky I get to do it every night.
Yeah. Is there some, I guess, responsibility with a institution like that? Like, I guess one thing I think about is obviously super politically charged atmosphere, and really has been since you have started doing the show. And I remember like there was a quote that I read like in 2017. You said essentially, people who voted for Trump watch us too. You know, like is the Tonight Show as an institution give you some, I guess, responsibility to try to appeal to everyone?
I think so. I think everyone has to be able to laugh. I mean, on both sides of whatever your political beliefs are, religious beliefs. I think funny is funny, you know, and you got to make jokes, and sometimes it's too close to this side, sometimes it's too close to that side. But if you can keep kind of a balance, I mean, you know, it's different in these times. You know, it feels like it's one-sided, but this guy's given us a lot to play with, you know. So there used to be people that go like, you won't believe what's happening. And I go, oh. Now I go, yeah, I probably will believe what they're doing, what's happening. It's just, and it's our job to make people laugh about it and go like, okay, we're going to be all right. It's going to be okay. And we have the smartest writers in the world working on jokes to make you like, good. Okay, everyone's feeling this too. We can all relax and we'll get through it. It's okay. He just fell off. That's I gave him some explosives.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have done that, but you know, you get fireworks cheap nowadays.
Can't get good help anymore.
No. It's bad, but it's all right. He'll figure it out. He's got good insurance.
The last thing I want to ask you is about, so obviously like you started this thing, you were 34, late night, 39, and you've had a long career in it.
Oh my gosh, are you taking over the Tonight Show? Is that what you're telling me?
I'm here to announce it now. No, but no, you're only 50 and you have obviously like a long career ahead. Are there still things in TV or creatively or in business that you still want to accomplish?
Always.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love trying new things and seeing what I can do and pushing myself and going, yeah, can you make a Christmas album and write 25 new Christmas songs? That's impossible. They've all been written. What other songs do you need? I don't know how many.
Already done.
She's the queen. Yes, she did it. I mean, I can't rhyme the word snow with glow. I can't do it anymore. My brain broke. But it's a good challenge to try to do it, you know. And so I do that. So that was just, you know, every year you think of a new thing. You're like, oh, this is fun. Or, you know, you get an opportunity like, hey, do you want to be in the tortilla chip business? I go, I weirdly will try that. Yeah, I eat these chips, so I'll play with that and just see if I can get it to the next level. It's exciting for me to see that side because, again, I'm a comedian. I'm lucky to be anywhere near what I'm doing now. I'm having as much control. I'm, you know, a control freak, probably, you know, and perfectionist. But I do. I started as a comedian, so I really have no business in doing any of this, you know. But I'm in it now. I've done this for. I think I've been on NBC 26 years or something like that, 25 years. Long time. Same building. I'm so lucky. I love it. And I go in, I go, yeah, I know where that elevator goes to. I know that thing. And I've had so many experiences in that building and in show business for so long. I think I know what I'm doing now. Where I go, yeah, I can do that. And I'm more calm, but I'm still excited. I'm still like, nope, that's in the wrong spot. All right, you're going to keep the camera there? I guess so. It would be better there, but he wanted to put it there. It's fine. No, I'm just kidding. I like it there.
You're good. Awesome. Well, Jimmy Fallon, thanks for joining us on Forbes Live.
Yeah, thanks for doing this. I appreciate this.
All right.
Yeah, let me know when you want to take over. Jesus.